Would say if they've been following you for a while and you have authority as a coach, I would just say, so is that it? So is that it? Question mark, right? And so it's a good pattern interrupt. They're like, of course that's not it. I'll be looking to improve in X Y Z X Y Z. I'm just in a good position right now, and then you can always transition from there. So the first question is that it? The second is what you said, that would work more with leads um, that don't really know you that well. You don't have a lot of authority, and if they say, "Oh, I'm already in a sales program," then you can be like, "Of course, I'm not trying to tell you to kind of jump off of that and join some other." How long have you been in the program for? Right? Again, just kind of chill conversation. And then the third one is it can be another situation as well where you're speaking with a lead, and let's say they know you also have authority, but you cannot be too upfront with them, right? So
Mm.
with those sort of people, the best way to go about that, if you push too much, they're just gonna burn, is you give them their time. You don't rush anything. You send them resources, you warm them up, you keep on touching base with them, and you make sure that they convert. But ideally, no one should be saying they're already in a program, and if they're saying that, then you're causing some sort of sales resistance within the DMs. So it's not about the actual objection, but rather about the conversation that you're having. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, because it's like they wouldn't get down that far into the conversation and then just say that randomly, especially if they've been telling you their problems,
Yeah,
if they show their intent, etc. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
for sure, man. For sure, for sure. Like the best, the only way to make a lot of money as a DM setter in like sales oriented roles is to give the sales rep the breakthrough that they have not been able to achieve with their current coach. So give them some sort of a breakthrough, give them some sort of a learning lesson, give them some sort of clarity within the DMs that they haven't been able to achieve with their current coach. And that in return would just help you stand out, and they would be like, I want to learn about more about what you do. Right. And that's what we do with DM setters. I have a situation of someone that paid like 10 grand for a coaching program for appointment setting. And this guy got
Mm.
no placement. He got nothing. He just got like a bunch of videos, and now he's doing cold outbounds to find an offer. And the entire conversation was, me just kind of breaking some of his beliefs step by step, and then kind of pushing him to book through and schedule a call. So pretty interesting.
Oh,
So we have a couple of role plays that we want to break down today. Let me bum bum bum. Ansel, did you send me any role play? I don't think so. Antonio sent me two though. Let's see. One.
yeah, I was doing one with him. He's the one that I did it with at first, but he was the setter.
He was a setter. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead, Ping. What question do you have?
Yeah, just a quick question that SDR interview you were telling about yesterday for tomorrow. I was just reading the job description or understanding more about the role, and it seems like the role will be to call leads and then meet with scheduled bookings on the calendar and then manage your pipelines to set appointments for the team of closers to get your sets closed, right? So it seems more like a phone setting plus triaging role.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, like, what's the difference between the initial call versus the triage call later on when we
Okay.
actually meet with leads? Yeah.
So
Because I've never done phone setting before. I've done DM setting and closing, but not,
yeah.
this. Yeah.
So based on what I understand, triage could be done in
Yes.
two different ways.
Sure. Sure.
Number one, let's imagine that a lead booked in with a closer directly through the website, and their
Yes.
application is a bit weak. So rather
Okay.
than the closer jumping on a call with the lead, a triager would
Yes.
jump on a call with that lead, qualify them, and if
Mm.
they're good enough, then they would book them in with the closer again. That's situation number two.
Yes.
Situation
Yes.
number that's situation number one. Situation number
Yeah, for
two
sure.
is the leads directly book into the calendar of the triager as the first touch point of like contact, and then the triager
Yes.
qualifies everyone and books them in with a closer,
Okay.
right?
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
a
So it's.
phone setter
Mm,
mainly just calls in the opt-in. So the people that come to the website, they watch the VSL, they give you their
mm,
information in terms of email, phone number, name, but they don't book
mm,
a call with your team. A phone setter
mm,
typically calls them and be like, hey, was there something wrong with the link? What happened? I saw that you were not able to
mm.
book in. Takes that concern tone and kind of helps them to schedule in. So,
Gotcha. Gotcha. So in the phone setting situation, I mean, it's not necessary for it to be passed on to a triager anymore, right? Because the phone set is supposed to qualify for the fight before the call gets booked in
yes,
at the closer.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
right.
Okay. Thanks for the
Perfect.
clarification. Appreciate it.
Anytime. So we have two. So Ansel is the lead and Chris is the lead. Antonio has been having role plays from the get-go. Cool guy. Let's see. So this is e-commerce coach and role play with Ansel. The scenario is e-com niche on a post liked a post to then getting a DM setter reach out. So this is Antonio. Hey Ansel, I saw that you liked my post about running an e-com. What sparked your interest? Pretty cool question. Hey man, just love the value. Okay, so this is a good question, but I think in the e-com niche, it's too repetitive. I would just change it a little bit, maybe add a bit more personalization. Just loved the value that you put on that post. Helped me out a lot. Awesome. Great to hear that. Can you tell me about your current situation? Are you working? Okay, bad start. Bad start. This is a very, very bad start, Antonio. And the reason this is bad is because after the first initial message, we're like, hey, tell me about your current situation. Are you working a 9 to 5? Now, some leads may respond to you, but if you want to be like the best DM setter, you simply cannot ask that question because it's not human, it's not natural. So how would we go about this? Is, for example, he said, I just love the value, helped me out a lot. I said, pretty cool, man, pretty cool. I usually post a lot of things. I might have a couple of more resources for you in depth that can match up with your situation. So I mean, like, tell me a bit more about yourself. Like, are you running a brand or are you thinking of launching one? Right? And he would have said, oh, I'm thinking of launching one. Pretty cool, man, pretty cool. Like tons of people are kind of launching their brand. What sort of a brand do you want to launch? Like, are we thinking clothing or something else? Oh, yeah, it's a clothing brand, streetwear. And then you can have an entire conversation. Just don't do this because this is bad. Okay, let's see. So Ansel said, I mean, I'm working a full-time job looking to transition into ecom full-time. Great to hear that. What's been the moment where you went enough is enough? Okay. So the question is good. I think this is this is my favorite question ever in sales. Typically is like, okay, like when did you decide like now is the time that you want to do this? Like now is like the right time. But the thing with questions is you got to be really careful where you ask these specific questions because they're so impactful that if you just use it for the sake of using it, you're not going to get the type of responses that you can get. Right? One of the most impactful questions within sales is why now? Same question as he said. But again, it's not going to give him the right sort of answer because again, it's too quick. We literally have no idea about the guy. And he said, my job is all right, but it doesn't provide me with financial freedom and locational freedom that ecom does. And I'm 120% certain Ansel said that for the sake of the role play. No lead would ever say that. They would just ghost you, most likely. And if you use this question at the right time, the lead would open up so much to you and be like, because I want to see my kids grow, and I really want that time freedom to be with them, and kind of be the father figure to them that I did not have when I was growing up. So that's the type of responses that you can get, but you're not getting that because this is too soon. So that's a really bad question. Again, this was just not the time for that. what we should have done instead is he talked about his job. He talked about shifting to ecom full time. Let's ask questions about that. Let's ask questions about ecom. What sort of a brand is he looking like? Does he? Oh, that's pretty cool. Like so you will introduce yourself. Like back like 7 years ago when I initially started, I was working in the library and trying to transition into ecom full time as well. It took me a couple of months to kind of get a hang of it. But I mean, like, do you already have a brand, or are you thinking of launching one? Right. So again, introducing yourself, leveraging whatever they said to ask a question, rather than bringing in something from the dead. Right. So let's scroll down. My job is all right, but it doesn't provide me with the financial freedom and location freedom that ecom wants. Ecom does. I see. It's a bit of a personal question, but what are you making a month right now? Okay, so again, this is bad, right? If you were on a B2B offer with someone like Grant Cardone and kind of talking with business owners directly as him, this would work because you have such authority that it doesn't matter what you say, they're always going to open up to you and give you responses. But for 99% of the coaches, this simply would not work. Because again, just being like, hey, a bit of a personal question, what are you making right now? So let me visually show you what's happening. So what Antonio is doing right now is he's looking at this conversation, or as a DM setting, as a horizontal line, right? So he's like from one question to another 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 question, and with the hopes that he would eventually book them in. Whereas DM setting, as I've explained, is rather a vertical line with 3 different stages. You have the top of the conversation, right? You have the mid of the conversation, and then you have the bottom of the conversation. And there are some things that you're not allowed to do at the top of the conversation. For example, bringing in things that they did not even say, did not even talk about. For example, he should have asked about what sparked his interest. Oh, he should have asked about, if he's in ecom or, what he's doing, but rather asked about, are you working a 9 to 5? That doesn't have anything to do with what the guy just said. So it's going to harm him, right? So yeah, this is a conversation of like 99% of the DM setters, right? And this is like, I don't blame Antonio, because this has been ingrained in the minds of like DM setters. But this is again wrong. I don't like this question. Like it's not that I don't like this question. It's just the fact that it's been used at the wrong time and it shouldn't have been used here. What we should rather talk about, just from his messages, my job is all right, but it doesn't provide me with the financial freedom. He's talked about his job twice, but guess what? We don't even know what he does for a living. Right? So now the question becomes, do we actually care about the client? Because from this conversation, it just seems like we're just trying to get the booking somehow. It's like, let me just ask this guy a bunch of questions and get the booking, but we should rather care about them, what they do, what's happening and all of that cool stuff. So, naturally, this is a bad start. And if you scroll down, what are you currently making a month and how much? Okay, so he said it depends on my shift. It really, if this was an actual lead at this point, he would be like, hey man, like, why are you asking me all of these questions? Are you trying to sell me something? Right? Because naturally, that's what people would say. It depends on my shift, really. Anywhere from 2.5K to 3K a month is what I'm making. If I want to replace that, at least 5K a month. So Ansel actually gave him something to work with. Right? So he actually gave him something to work with. Did we use ChatGPT for this question, Antonio?
Which question?
This one.
I mean, yeah, I did. Most of it I
Yeah.
did myself,
Yeah, bro. No ChatGPT in roleplay specifically. Part of the reasoning being is because you want to build up your creative thinking skills. Because in the DMs, when you're talking with like 10 different or 12 different leads at the same time, ChatGPT wouldn't make it more effective, but would slow things down for you because you just don't have that creative thinking skills. Well, let's see. Got it. Totally makes sense. So you're covering the basics, but you're really looking to level up. He's not covering the basics because we don't even know if he's looking to launch a brand. Does he already have a brand? You know what he's looking for? What is he doing in terms of a job? How long has he been trying to get into ecom? Gives you both. Have you tried anything in ecom before, or would this be your first run at thing? And ideally, how soon would you want to hit? Okay, so this is a good question. This is a decent question. This is what we could have asked like 2 questions ago. Exactly, bro. Not really anything like that. I did try day trading, but lost all of my investment. Okay, so let's read between the lines. Lost investment. Right? That's negative. There's always a sense of like sad about it, hopelessness. So my first thing would be keeping him in this loop for as long as I can, talking about that. My second question, once I've kind of kept him in that loop, is why try ecom? A lot of people would give up. A lot of people would simply give up after failing one thing and losing a lot of money. Why keep going? What makes you different? Right? So that's what we would have done. We proposed the call. What program are you talking about? Is it an ecom program? Great job. Again, this was no time to schedule the call. It's way too soon. We don't have enough data on the lead. As a matter of fact, we just don't know anything. I feel like most of what he gave us was because he wanted you to pick up onto that and work with it, but we missed every single cue. And let's see, Sitter, it's an ecom program. Yeah, this is ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT. All right, who's the advisor? His name is John. One, the student of mine, joined our program, makes about $500 a year. Any more questions? This is good. Let's get you booked in. Okay, so the good thing is you kind of ensured that he was going to show up. Okay, so in terms of rating, this is a 1 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 because I'm feeling like being a bit generous. This was shit. Tons of room for improvement. Let's scroll down.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That was my first role play with someone, so
Yeah,
it
bro.
won't be the
Easy,
best.
easy. It's your first role play. With time you're gonna improve. But this wasn't too good. But that's the reason why we're having role plays. Easy. Okay, so this is Antonio and Chris role play for Amazon FBA coaching. Hey Chris, thanks for checking out my post about getting your business to 50 to 100K a month. What resonated with you the most? The integrity of it and your company being around for such a long time. Such a great time to just introduce yourself. Absolutely, man. You know, we've been in business for 7 years and, kind of have helped our clients do over 50 million with ecom. Tell me a bit about yourself, man. Are you running a business right now, or are you thinking of launching one? That would have been my transition. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, so I want you to remove the words such as I hear you, okay, good, cool, because that's what I call lazy resonation, right? And there's a time where you use lazy resonation, by the way. There's a specific time within the conversation where you're allowed to use lazy resonation. Does anyone know what is that stage within the conversation where you can almost skip resonation, but if you want to you can be extremely lazy with it?
Like the end of it, towards the end of it?
Yes, okay, booking, yeah. There's another stage as well.
When they're providing us very much details upon themselves. Like we can just let them keep talking.
Yes, what about you, Ansel? You were going to say something as well?
Yeah, I was saying sometimes maybe at the start, say they're already giving you lots of information at the start, you can, similar to what she said, we can sort of go over that and then
Yeah.
come back to that in the digging phase.
Bingo, right? So you both of you are on point. So typically, if they give you a lot to work with and you're digging in, you can simply ask questions about that without resonation or with very light resonations. right? An example of that is, let's say you're talking with a setter about the offer that he's on and he's looking for a better one. So if you're talking about his actual offer, you don't need to resonate. You can just be like, okay, how many dials are you doing a day? Okay. How many sets are you getting? Okay. And what sort of show up rate do you have? What's the close rate? Right. So bash, bash, bash. Then you already know you got to compliment them and move to the next step. Right. So good job. I hear you. How long have you been running this business for? I've been running it for about 3 years and still looking to extend. What drew you towards my business? Awesome, great to hear. And you see you're very experienced. What caught my eye with your business is how well known you are, and you're very clear with what you do and who you help. I see you help people start Amazon FBA. Correct? Wait. The lead helps people start up their Amazon FBA business. Did we mess up here, or is this a role play for a coach that helps coaches?
It was originally meant to be with that, but sort of wasn't thinking.
Yeah, it's okay, bro. Yeah, that's kind of confusing. That is correct. From someone brand new to business owner with experience. Awesome, Chris. Can I do how much money are you making per month, and how much would you like to make? Okay, so this question in nature is for inbound leads. The nature of this question is for inbound leads. This is someone that raises their hand asking for your help. You can ask them questions, okay, where you at and where you want to go with our help, right? But for someone that's an outbound, this question just simply would not fit because you need to be sneaky. So just talk about whatever they say, man. Just kind of stick with whatever they say. Try to dig in, and try to clarify whatever doesn't make sense to you. He said, I'm making 6 figures a month, but always looking to expand. So the rule of thumb is simple, guys. If someone says something once and you ignore it, it's okay. If someone says something twice, it matters. And you should most likely go in with that. But if someone says something 3 times, you know that you need to fucking stop and talk about that thing. So this guy so far has mentioned that he is still looking to expand. He said always looking to expand. So it's been twice. At this point, we want to get into that. What are his expansion plans? What's stopping him, XYZ, and what problems are you currently facing? Okay, let me ask you this, Antonio. Did he say that he's facing any sort of problem with scaling?
Not fully, but it's just he wanted to expand.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I was basically like, what's stopping you from scaling?
Yeah, so never assume when there's a way to find out. That's a rule of thumb. You never assume in sales if there's a way to find out. So, by the way, great question. Like, I see where you're getting with the question. It's like, okay, like trying to find the problem that they have. But you saying that without them even mentioning they have a problem is gonna shoot you in the foot. So what you need to do is you need to talk about this. Right? He said always looking to expand. I would be like, pretty cool, man. I mean, you're already doing 6 figures a month. What's kind of the next goal for you? Like, what are you expanding towards? Oh, I'm expanding towards 7 figures a month right now. Oh, pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. And do you plan to just do that with your own product or add more products on top of that for the expansion? Oh, ideally, I would want to add a few more products, but I want to see if I can do 7 figures with this one. Pretty cool, man. I mean, like, in terms of getting clients, like, what are some of your main channels for getting those clients right now? Oh, it's just IG and running ads. Pretty cool, man. And in terms of going to that 7 figure, do you want to double down on your current platforms of scaling, or do you want to add on to that and try a few more social media sites? Ideally, we just want to do it with the one that we have. And then I would have asked about, if that's what's happening, why not just put more money into the marketing you're already doing and, kind of get to that 7 figure if it's already working and making you 6 figures. They would have said, oh, if I put more money into the marketing, then my ROS gets low. I start losing money if I put too much money. 6 figures is my sweet spot. Oh shit, how long has that been happening for? right? So eventually we're getting to the problem, but it's a lot more natural because it's question after question after question to have them tell you what the problem is, and then you can present them with a solution. We have not properly prioritized our team to make 7 figures. We're still currently stuck at 6 figures. This has been the main since we hit this plateau. How long has it been that he's been stuck at 6 figures? What does he mean by not properly prioritizing the team enough? These are all the questions that we can easily dig into. What does he mean by that? How long has he been stuck there? What has he tried to fix this? All that cool stuff. I see you. So luckily I reached out to you because this is something we can definitely help you out with. So Chris, I have asked you enough questions. We did not ask him enough questions. We asked him barely enough, right? So good job on the role plays, bro. The fact that you're showing up, the fact that you have 2 role plays so far the next day of completing your program tells a lot about you, who you are outside of sales, which is a freaking gangster. But this is bad, bro. This is bad. This roleplay gets a whopping 1 out of 10. Right? So we have a lot to improve upon. And what I would suggest you, Antonio, is I have a playlist of, let's see, playlist, Q&A sessions. I have an entire playlist of 11 Q&A sessions where I'm breaking down role plays and live conversations and all of that cool stuff. But I would suggest to you, bro, is go and review at least 5 videos and kind of take the feedback from that. Then start having role plays again with people and bring them to me again, and we can improve them, right? Again, this is not bad. The good thing is you understand the essence of what you need to get out of the client and the lead, but it's just about navigating through the conversation a bit better so that you can get all the information you need without coming off as someone that's too salesy. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Any follow-up questions, guys? Do you guys have any questions, or are you guys clear?
So just quickly, because
All clear.
after this, I'm gonna go to sleep because I just finished an overnight.
Yeah.
So I can do those 2 role plays again with those 2 people,
Yes.
and they'll count as like 2, 3, and 4. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You can count them as 3 or 4. Ideally, the goal is to have 10 role plays, but guess what? If by the 10 you're not good and you're like at a 3, you're going to continue to have role plays until you improve and refine your skills. Because let me tell you this. I would be doing you more harm by getting you a placement if you're at a 3, because I know you wouldn't be able to keep the offer or make money with it, and you're just going to lose it from the get-go. What I would rather do is give you all the tools necessary to get inside the offer. It's almost like if, we're going to war and I know you cannot even shoot a gun, and I just take you there with a stick and I'm like, best of luck, Sergeant, do your thing. And you're like, shit, what? They're freaking shooting at me. I have like a stick, right? So the goal is to give you all the guns and ammo you need and then take you to the battlefield so you can win it. Does that make sense, bro?
Yep.
Easy. Ansel, what's up, bro? What question do you have?
Yeah, just another question on the application.
Yeah.
Let me try and find it. Yeah, so one of the questions is, let's say an Instagram restricts our account, so we can't send any new messages. What would you do? And I sort of put, I would focus on going back onto the old conversations, so following up with them and trying to create new conversations, well, continue their current conversations, as well as interacting with like comments, actual comments, like maybe have a short conversation, and then once it gets back up, we can take it to the DMs or something. What would you like add to that or change?
Yeah. So what I would do is, number one, even if IG restricts your account, you can still reach out to all of your followers, right? So the entire goal would be to get as many followers because marketing and DM setting goes hand on hand. So if that happens, then from what I would expect from Brian Joy is to push out his content with a CTA of follow me, so we can get a lot more followers that I can reach out to as a DM setter and maximize the conversations even with a restriction. The second thing that I would do is I would scroll down and find leads going back to a year, I don't care, and reignite those conversations, give them a lot of value, warm them up, and then convert them into bookings for you. Easy, bro, Antonio. I would speak with you soon, bro. Good job. Good job. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye.
For sure.
I actually have a follow-up
Same.
questions for that one, the one
Go ahead.
Ansel asked. Like, how do you find leads from a year ago with Instagram? Or like, do you check your followers, or there's a system in CRM where you have them stored,
Yeah.
all leads?
Scroll down. Right? The way that I do it is I would click unread and it would show all the conversations that you possibly missed out upon. And it's so funny that with a business owner that I used to work with, I would just go to unread and there are like conversation from 2 years ago that are completely unread. They reached out to us asking about the service, but we never got back to them. And I typically just reached out to them saying something like, hey, apologies for reaching out to you this late. DMs have been incredibly hectic. Like, is this something you're still looking to get help with, or have you been able to fix it? And if they say, oh, I still need help, guess what? I would easily have a conversation, book them in. And yes, 2 years ago. And the funniest thing is the response rate is higher on those leads. They reply to you. With Mike Sancho, we collected about like 470K and the leads were 2 years old, all of them. So there's a lot of money in it if you just know how to go about it, which of course I can help you guys with. If it comes down to that, then the account gets restrictive. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Easy. Any other questions, guys?
I also submitted a role play.
Thank you. I'm just about to get relaxed up. Let's see.
I have
Let's see.
I have
Yeah,
a
bro.
question. Can you maybe review like the DM setting script / framework of this new guy that I'm working with?
Oh, let's do that. That would be fun. Let me review this first, and then we're gonna get to that. It's Umme and Ivika, high ticket online fitness coaching. Yo, Ivika, you have been engaging with posts. Appreciate that. How's that? Okay, so I got a question. Let me answer this. What separates lazy resonation from great resonation? Do share our thoughts, stories, believe that align with what they said. Really good question, bro. I mean, a few ways to go about it. Number one is like if you're not doing a lazy resonation, then ideally in resonations you're introducing yourself to come off as more relatable and similar to them. Number two is you're either complimenting them on the progress that they have made so far, or number three is you're just basically adding a lot of humor, right? And as much humor as you can. It's going to help you guys a lot. So hope that helps. Yo, Ivika, you've been engaging with the post. Appreciate that. How has training been lately? No worries. Yeah, training is good. Going good. Glad to hear that, my man. What kind of trainings are you doing currently? Pretty cool. He said, I'm doing bodyweight training. Nice. Okay, lazy resonation spotted. This was a perfect opportunity for you to introduce yourself, right? And be like, shit, pretty cool, Like I used to do body weight training when I initially started like 3 years ago. Pretty fun. How is that going for you? Right? So introducing yourself, how is that going for you? Are you maintaining weight or are you trying to change something right now? I'm actually looking to lose a couple of pounds, so we're going for that lean build. And how many pounds do you have lost so far? I would say about 10 pounds. How long did it take you? Good question. Great question. Naturally, that was the question I had in my mind. Was how long did it take him? 2 months. 2 months and losing 10 pounds is really freaking good. It's really good.
That's what I was struggling with. He said 2 months and 2 months. What do you need help with, my guy? What are you doing here?
There is a way. There is a way. There is a way. Because when I look at this, 10 pounds in 2 months, freaking insane. That's really good. But guess what? What typically happens with fitness is you hit a plateau. You lose a lot of weight and then you get stuck at a certain weight. And then you're like, shit, why am I not losing weight at the same intensity that I was losing? And that's how you can position yourself as an expert and be like, that's what I was facing. Let me help you out, right? So let's see. That's solid progress. How do you manage to keep consistency? Okay, did he mention he has a job? No. With your job, how do you manage to keep consistency? Okay, so this would have been a great time for you to introduce yourself, right? And like he knows, like if he know 10 pounds in 2 months is a big thing, guess what? Make him feel a little good about himself. Be like, bro, that's freaking insane. You know, what are you doing, bro? Are you eating like one meal a day? How are you achieving that? Oh, no, ha, 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 bro. No, it's not like that. I'm doing the body. I'm just super locked in and XYZ. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. It's insane because I don't see a lot of people doing that. Like initially when I started, you know, I lost like 10 pounds, but it took me 4 months. And then I hit a plateau where I wasn't able to lose any weight, like not at the same intensity. I mean, what's happening with you, bro? Like, are you losing weight consistently even as of right now? Or have you like hit any sort of plateau? Right? Boom. You're just guiding the conversation. Thank you. It's difficult, but I somehow find time to hit the gym. Big dog energy. That's what I would have said. Big dog energy, bro. You know, keep on freaking crushing it. Yes, I do hear that a lot. No pain, no gain, as they say. Yeah, use a little emoji here, laughing emoji. What has been the part that you find the most difficult? I would say my time. Okay, interesting. That's what we focus on. So with packed schedule, short, effective session, 0 gym flux. Okay, so he set his time. I would have said, I mean, bro, like, how is time an issue for you? How is time an issue for you? Like, are your workouts too long? Are you spending a lot of time on the diet? Like what's causing him to say that it's his time? So you could have gone about it. You know, Nancy, it could be better, of course. I get you, consistency is there, but without a solid system, it always feels like you're doing a bit more work than you need to. The guys we work with usually see the differences between their training with actually what fits around their schedule instead of clashing with it. Out of curiosity, if you had a system like that in place, do you think it would save you time and make the results faster? Yeah, I guess. Of course, he guesses. Perfect, honestly, with your goals. Bada bada boom. Yeah. I would rate this a 3 out of 10. So this is good. After what I just experienced like 10 minutes ago, this to me feels like heaven, right? So really good job. You know, you asked the right questions. You know, I'm not gonna nail you down too much because, not gonna lie, 10 pounds in 2 months, that would like get off track any DM setter for a fitness offer, because they're like, okay, like how do I go about how do I find pain or, you know, problems in this specific thing? And let me give you something. So whenever you struggle to find goals or pain or something like that, and you try your best but it's just not coming out of the lead, then you take A and B approach, right? What is the A and B approach? This is where you feed them the actual problem, right? So you feed them the actual problem. The way you do that is, again, the same frame that I said, which is like typically, you know, when I was losing weight, you know, 4 months in, I lost a lot of weight, but I hit a plateau, right? So would you say, like, are you losing weight consistently, or like have you hit a plateau? Or another good thing that you can do is you leverage A and B both as a problem. Is my diet was too repetitive, bro? So like, is your diet too repetitive, or are you hitting a plateau with your workouts? He's going to accept one of them. Whatever he accepts, go and dial in with that. So I think you would have done a great job, Rabab, only if he had given you a bit more to work with. I think part of the reason why we did not do as well is because we did not have a lot to work with. And even as an experienced DM setter, I have to think about thinking about, okay, if it I'm thinking from my experience that I hit a plateau, people hit plateau, okay, that's what I can talk about. A lot of DM setters wouldn't be able to talk about that because they just don't know that.
Yeah, and
So
I also wasn't aware that there's an issue that you stop like losing weight, because I
yeah,
had trouble with gaining weight, so I didn't know there was an issue that you get stopped. Like, oh,
e-
you cannot lose anymore.
exactly right. So I think you would have done great if he had given you a lot to work with, which he did not, which is
Don't
okay.
worry,
Just
I'll
go
get
for
him
his
next time. I'll get him next time.
You will, champ. Get him next time. Do I have any other role play that I'm missing out upon by any chance? Not really. But show me, Ivika, show me the actual. How many pain points should we typically dig for?
I think
Uh,
Umaima also sent you some. She mentioned it in the last Zoom that I think,
Yeah.
or last from, I'm not sure if they were.
oh, I would love to review one of Umaima's roleplay. This is my time to just, bro. Wait, let me
She's
open
dead.
this up. Nah, bro, I'm so ready for this. Wait, let me share my screen. Let me answer the question first. So, how many pain points should we typically dig for? You don't need a lot of pain points, to be honest. You don't need a lot of pain points. You just need one. You just need one, right? And typically, sometimes you don't even get a pain point. That's what's fun. You can make someone let's think about it. Let's go. Why do we need pain in a conversation? Why do we talk about pain? What's the reasoning behind wanting pain out of a lead? Who's gonna answer that?
I would say what I learned from other setter coaches before: no pain, no sale. I don't know.
No
Is that
pain, no sale. Okay, that's good. Who else?
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry, what was the question?
I'll help you with that. Ansel, what do you think?
I was about to say by having pain there, it could make a normal problem seem even worse than it actually is. So it could drive more urgency for them to like do it.
Okay, so we're gonna mix what Ivika and you said, right? So Ivika, you said no pain, no booking. We're gonna change that to no problem is equal to no booking, right? So pain is equal to problem is equal to booking. No problem is equal to no booking. Because if there's nothing they need fixing with, what is your program going to fix? Error, right? So if there's no problem, there's no booking. But as Ansel said, pain expands the problem. So you don't need pain to get a booking, you need problem to get a booking. But if you want the problem to be expanded and have more impact so they can close, you need pain for that. Pain, in easy words, we're going to change the word pain now into emotion, because that's the end goal, right? To trigger an emotion so the problem expands, not pain, but rather an emotion so the problem expands and the booking is more effective. So once you realize that the entire goal of pain is basically to trigger a negative emotion, have them feel sad, hope, like anything like that, so the problem can expand, then it becomes super easy to find pain without even trying for that. Because guess what? If you just look at the conversation and you find an emotion attached to a message, you keep them in that message. You keep that in that emotion for long enough so the problem can automatically expand without even asking about their pain. Right? So that is why, like, the reason I broke this down in like chunks is because we use these words a lot. Oh, we need pain. Oh, we need goals. But why do we need goals? Why do we need pain? Once you truly understand that, then you realize, oh shit, I don't even need pain. I just need one problem. And I need a negative emotion that they mentioned. And I need to keep them in that emotion long enough so they feel that they need to change. And then I just need to book them in. Right? Easy. Hope that helps.
I have a
So,
question.
Shane, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so like so sometimes it's like would you say sometimes you don't even need to like have them like outright say this isn't working? Like if you ask someone like how's your job, and they're like this and this and that, it's not bad then. It's not bad.
Yeah.
So would you say that a lot of the times they don't even have to say a pain right out for us to like they can give us hints then?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they typically do, if they don't give you a pain or emotion, then you create one. Let me show you. Let's go with this guy. He said he's a DM setter, bada boom. He talked about the fact that how he's jumping on a cold offer.
And I respect the fact that even the manager was saying that this will be tough. This is going to be extremely tough. I have to make $100 a day. That's one of the KPIs. So we'll see, though. Beggars can't be choosers. That's my...
Beggars can't be choosers. Who the fuck said that in sale? Who made that rule? Who said you cannot be picky with the offers you jump on? So that's one limiting belief right there.
If you're new to something, more likely or not, the first job, the first offer is going to suck.
Who said if you're new to something, the first experience is going to suck? The first job is going to suck? Who said that? Who said that rule? No one. That's like a negative limiting belief.
Use that as leverage to pivot into a...
Who said you need leverage? Who said you need previous experience leverage to find a good role? Guess what? Joe was a complete beginner. No experience, no rules. He made 9K within his first year. 9K a month. Right? So all those three are limiting beliefs. Guess what? He didn't give me pain because so far he's in that frame of, I'm doing good, bro. I'm jumping on an offer. I'm doing like $100 a day and then I'll find a better offer. I'm so on the right track. And I was like, bro, calm down.
So challenging time. I'll challenge you on that. Now, the reason I want to challenge you on that, because don't be the same dumb fuck that I was 6 years ago.
I'm chill like that with my leads. Don't do this.
In our space and what a lot of people teach is like, hey, guess what? Go with a average offer, do cold island, do X, Y, and Z, so that you can get experience, so that you can land a better role. Guess what? Fuck that. Because let me ask you that.
Okay, so I said, let me ask you a question. Why am I asking him a question when I know exactly what beliefs do I need to break? I can just tell him. Why am I asking him that question? Why would I ask him questions when I know exactly what's happening?
So that you can at the end of the conversation tell him like, do you see the pattern?
Yes. Good job, Shane. Why do you think so? I asked that question.
Because when you tell him directly that create resistance, but you want him to come to the conclusion himself. So you want him to come to the conclusion himself.
Bingo, right? So let's see.
Do you think there are people with no experience, or let's say similar experience as you, that land a freaking good role where they make like 7 to 8K a month within like the next 6 months? Do you think there are people that have been able to achieve that?
Nice, simple question. Of course he would agree with that.
Most definitely. Especially if you have the right connections.
Most definitely. Especially if you have the right connections. But guess what? If you are so freaking sure, and if you already know that, why would you join a cold offer? That's conflicting. One thing he's saying, oh, I'm so freaking sure, but guess what? I'll jump on a shitty offer so I can get some leverage. Conflicting. So guess what I would do?
Bingo, bro. And I don't know if if you follow me on Facebook or if you've
Now this is me just building my authority.
On some of my real space, network. Because if you are connected with the right people, it's impossible for you to not land a really freaking good role, right? So let me ask you this then. If you do know that networking and being in touch with the right people is the way to find a really solid role from the get-go, why are you okay with jumping with an okay role for a couple of months where you're barely making any money? And it's fucking cool, call. That's what I'm thinking about, bro. There are millions of opportunities out there, inbound, warm leads, DM setting. You're gonna freaking make a lot of money.
You get the point. It's like, why? Like, because it's conflicting. It's like, I want to lose weight, but I'm not working out. You know, it's like, okay, what do you mean by that?
Bro, I appreciate you checking me, challenging my thought process, and really trying to assess my temperature. I really do
I love
appreciate it.
sales, man.
So, really, the game plan was to be there, not for months on end, but just be there until I find a better offer. But now that you said that, it's making me rethink even that. I might just leave.
There we go. So even though, like, initially he came in so freaking hot, he was like, oh shit, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm on the right track, you know, bada bada boom, bada bada boom, bada bada boom. I broke his beliefs to where he was like, shit, you know what? You're making me doubt my own process. And that is sales. I didn't ask him some salesy question. Because at this point, what a lot of setters would have done once they've heard that is like, oh, pretty cool, man, pretty cool, pretty cool. Are they offering you a base and commission as well? Oh, why are you doing that? You can find a base with like an inbound role. We can easily get you the placement. No, that's not going to work. Have them come to because genuinely think about it. In a world where you could be on like inbound and outbound offers, but like warm leads, why would you choose one like that? So that's a really good example of a lead and how I handle it. Make sense, Shane?
Yes, yes, it makes sense. So what I was saying was like, when someone is too proud, right, and like you see that they could do better, this is like raising their standard then to match yours, basically.
Yes. It's like
Okay.
if it's good to be proud. It's good to be proud.
Yeah.
But the only reason why you have, it's like just show them there's a different level to this game.
Yeah.
Show them the level you're on is just the baby level, bro. There's a different level to this game which you can be a part of. Right? So
Okay,
that's
yeah.
the entire thing.
Yeah.
So reacted to my content. Okay, let's see. Joanne is the setter. Umayma is the lead. Umayma, you sent me a lead. I thought you were the setter.
No, I guess this role play was where I was the setter. 1 second.
Is this you? Because it's definitely Joanne. And I don't want to review Joanne's roleplay because he's too fucking goated. I'd review it and give him an 8 marks again. He's just good at it like that. I want to
Yeah,
review
this was the
yours.
role play, obviously.
Yeah. Give me a roleplay so I can... Do you have a roleplay where you were the setter?
1 second, let me check.
For sure. So they're raising their standards. Let's look into another one of mine then.
Hey,
This is-
Omema. Omema.
Yes.
Did you show him the one with me and you?
Wait, let me did you send him that role play or no?
Nah, I didn't send him that one.
Okay, wait 1 second, then let me send him that.
This is, by the way, this is a prime example of someone that reacted to my content that I'm reaching out to. Yo, Shane, appreciate the engagement on my post, brother. I see you new in the game. Best of lucks. Just getting started. Cheers. One step at a time. Glad to see you made the decision to join the space. What are you focusing on for now? Aiming to become that closer or taking that road? He said, yeah, I just focus on learning appointment setting to get started in sales. Perfection at its peak. I started off. This is me. What am I doing, guys? Who's going to tell me?
Introducing yourself?
Resonating.
Introducing yourself.
Thank God you guys are catching up. Introducing myself. Yes. How is it? Because imagine if I didn't say this and I just said this. How is it going so for you so far? That's salesy, but all of a sudden, just by me introducing myself, it becomes a lot more human. Right? He said just watching a lot of content, building a good understanding of it, but ultimately looking to join a good community and mentorship to learn it. I heard this and I was like, bingo, money. That's money. I said, you're on the right track, man. I mean, just be very picky with who you listen to for advices or learning about sales. There are tons of guys that create content, but most of them just try to withhold information so they can charge you $10K for a shitty program. Why did I say that? So I can position myself as someone that can give him a lot of information without even holding anything back, right? So I said, who are you listening to these days? Again, I'm always asking a question about what they say, guys. Always, always. That's the only reason why my conversations are so human. He said, this guy, I found him in YouTube. I said, why? Oh, that's a new one. Wait. He sent me out. I was like, well, I know the guy. Now, see, I did not shit on the guy he's listening to. I said, he is good. He's decent. Definitely one of the good ones. I mean, you're already on the track. Bro, he is. He said he seems credible. I said, bro, he is. I don't know much about his students or coaching, but I know he does decent in B2B. Then I said, have you been able to watch any of my content by any chance? I'm what they call the hidden goat, right? Just adding a bit of humor. He said, I haven't so far. I said, oh gosh, bro, you're about to be blown away then. Wear your seatbelt. And then I just kind of sent him my introduction. He watched it. Bada bada boom. He said it's only been 2 weeks. He's thinking to make the transition in 2 weeks. I said, why? Because I thought it might be a limiting belief. I can break it and get him booked in. He said, no funds to invest. Right? So I said, bro, improving and goated behavior, bada bada boom. And at this point, he was like, do you offer payment plans? I don't know how much it costs, but doubt I will be able to cover it in one go. I said, it's invite only. I literally said no to someone that was willing to pay me a PIF today. That is true, guys. I had someone today that was willing to pay me a PIF, and I said no. Because they were coming to me with such desperate energy to get a role. I was like, there's so much else that I can provide to you. You're just coming to get a placement. I don't want to work with you. Bye. Keep your money. He said, I'll watch some of your content and go from there. This guy closed 120%. Was the conversation freaking human? 120%. That's all I do, right? If we go here, my setter sent this. He responded, hey, no, man, I really don't post much of anything, just trying to find new ways to make some money. I said, I can see, whereas I post a lot because, of course, got to keep the audience entertained. Pretty cool, man. What have you come across so far? I can just ask him questions about what they say. Then I said I'd assume e-com, dropshipping, SMMA, crypto, because that's all they feed to beginners. He said, correct, dude, all of those. Have no idea. Now, the humor worked, right? But he didn't respond, so guess what I would do? It's freaking simple. I would go here, copy this message, use it as a follow-up. If you replied in your head, I respect it, but send it on IG too, bro, right? And the humor is good, so he's going to reply back to me. But that is how I go about things, guys. Again, it's not too difficult. You just need to do what you're doing. Let's see. Umayma sent me one roleplay. I know we're over the hour here, but I just want to review this one real quick for you guys before we call it a day. Okay. Hi, Umayma. Shane, you're the freaking setter on this one. You want me to review this?
Okay, so listen, wait up. This was a really, really old one that I didn't remember, but I told her, okay. I should have told her that, yeah.
One second.
I was talking about the
I
one
sent him the
where
wrong
she
one.
would
Yeah, you can review the other one, I would say.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah. This is, I guess I sent the right one. Yeah, this is what I would say.
Hey Shane, appreciate your follow. I see that you've got some great cars on your Instagram. I love cars too. Haha, thanks. Good to meet you. Good to meet another car lover. It's my dream to own all of these cars one day. Oh yes, for sure, man. It was my dream as a teenager, and after owning a Porsche myself, I look back to fucking good. I see you're in sales. How long have you been in the high ticket sales space for? You own a Porsche? That's awesome. I've been in the sales for on and off for about a year and a half. Oh yes, 911 Turbo S, the one you see, the one I see on your profile still got me here. So it can definitely help you achieve those big dreams as well. I see you're in sales for over a year now. Are you working as a setter, phone setter, DM setter to be specific? I started off as a phone setter, but after I got back fully in the space a month ago, I transitioned it felt more of my style. Why did it feel more of his style is one of my questions. Oh yes, DM setting is convenient. You can literally make money by sending messages from your phone while hanging out with your friends. I've done that multiple times. By the way, kind of curious, what do you mean by getting into this fully back? You've been working for a few months back. You've been working for 18 months now. Yeah, so I said I was on and off. First I was a phone setter, then I transitioned into public relations for a bit. And now I've been back in sales for a couple of months now, but this time as a DM setter, and I love that it gives me more flexibility, but I'm kind of starting to question is, why public relations after being a setter? Great question, right? And if you notice, there was no digging done. right? So remember earlier within this breakdown, I was basically telling you guys about the fact that you don't need to do, you can do lazy resignations, but at specific parts. This is one of the parts where lazy resignation is allowed. Honestly, I wasn't making as much as I wanted, so I transitioned into PR, thought that I could make money or to get a coach or something. The fact that he's starting to question this is something that we need to touch base upon as well. We did not touch base upon that. Okay. What's your goal? How much are you able to make now after getting into DM setting? I love the fact she asked about DM setting, but made it in relation to what Shane had said earlier. My goal has been 5K a month, but I'm still making 1K a month as a DM setter, same as I was working as a phone setter. Oh, got it. What have you been doing to get to that level of 5K a month? Because I do see a gap between your current situation and goal. To be honest, hitting 5K a month ain't hard. It feels really hard. I've been trying to get a coach because I've been watching YouTube videos and there's so much conflicting advice out there. I'm so confused. Emotion. I want to keep him there. Like, tell me how you're confused, little boy. But I think I've saved up enough money and I'm looking to get a coach. That's even great, man. You're at the right place. I see that you're, okay. So great. So see, she's still going ahead with questions, even though he's looking for a coach and he has money saved up, is because, it doesn't come off as too desperate. Right? But at this one, if someone is telling you they've saved up money and they're looking for a coach, as a sales trainer yourself, you already know they're looking to, kind of invest with you. Probably get my DM scaling skills because I think that's a problem, so I can hit that 5K a month. You're good at numbers. Saving, what range are you? 4K, wow, champ. That's amazing. Pretty interesting. What exactly are you hoping to achieve? So I can hit that 5K for sure. Okay, so she clarified the savings as well. She said 5K, wow, champ. That's amazing. I barely had money when I was 18. But yes, lots of students have achieved the 5 after watching my resource. Are you up to go through everything as well? I don't know. Typical Shane. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, typical Shane. I love this dude. It's like, that's what I was telling Ansel today. I was like, hey man, after you have a couple of roleplay, if you really want to test yourself, go to Maida and Shane. They would make you rethink everything. I don't know. I know you're good, but because I've been watching some of your content, but to be honest, I'm kind of tired of watching trainings and no results. Okay, so this is a limiting belief. Why do I say this is a limiting? This is why I say active reading is so important. He said he's tired of watching trainings and getting no results. Guess what? He's been watching YouTube videos. He said there's a lot of conflicting advice. What you need to make him realize is the trainings that he's talking about and the reason he's not getting results is not because of the trainings, but because there's a lot of conflicting advice that he's watching at the same time. If he had a straight step-by-step plan, do you think you would be able to achieve your goals? Yes, I would be. Why do you think so? Because I would know exactly what I need to do and it wouldn't conflict with 1,000 different coaches. Exactly, man. So let's jump on a call, right? Simple. That's what I would have done, right? Probably I'm the problem really because I know people who do watch the same shit as me but do better while I stay stuck. Why? Why do you think they watch the same training as you and do better? What makes you like why do you think might be the reasoning for that, right? So I would have asked that question, would have been a golden one. I think I need someone to show me what's wrong. That's why I've been saving money. Okay, let's see Shane's note because he of course put some notes. I was financially qualified and I was looking for a coach. I could have booked in if you had positioned yourself more as an authority by either challenging me or helping me realize how much I'm leaving on the table. I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. But in this case, I think I would have done something similar to Mama because if you are talking to me about how much money you've saved up and you're looking to get a coach, as a sales trainer myself, I already know you're open to the idea of investing in yourself. So I would be like, let's jump on, right? I can understand there are loads of trainings out there, but I don't see myself doing, but I myself don't know some of these coaches. Apart from that, how does your routine look after watching the training? Any new systems you've implemented, better your script, built a network? I tried to implement, but no luck. A main thing I see is people talking about building a relation in the DMs. I've tried to do that shit in so many ways, but people just ghost me and ask me why I'm asking too many questions. That's understandable. But that happens with people. But every negative situation has a positive aspect as well. Don't you think if you ask people the right questions at the right time, build a relation with them rather than rushing to jump, that can actually help you land and get good referrals. Could have stay more on the topic of me trying to get better in the DM because I didn't mention getting a job. I would agree. I would have talked about just this. right? Building a relation in the DMs, and the people that typically ghost him or ask him. Again, guys, sales is nothing but breaking down their beliefs, mental barriers one by one, right? For example, objections, like for example, this guy just said, but people just ghost me or ask me why I'm asking so many questions, and I've tried building a relation in the DMs. Why do people ghost a sales rep? It's because they're creating sales resistance. So they're asking the right question most likely at the wrong time, right? So what I would have done, I would have jumped on his team. I would have said, bro, I freaking agree with you. I freaking agree with you. A lot of these sales training just give you a bunch of questions and then have you just kind of put it and use it, but tell you nothing about the navigation and exactly when the question is supposed to be used. Let me ask you this, man. How long has it been that you've been trying these questions but getting no results? About 8 months. Okay, man. And what's like? And again, you just navigate, and book them in. Umama is doing a decent job, to be honest. Trying to roast her up, but she's doing a good job. I think that's what gets me ghosted. I try to come off as salesy and try to know when I try to come off salesy. That's the reality of sellers making high four figures, but prefer connecting with people they're on their level, maybe a little. Bada bada boom, bada bada boom. I'm sorry that we're talking about improving my already on an offer. When I said I was talking about the prospect. The last time I watched a training was a couple of weeks ago. The sales training had us watch it, but I'm getting resistant in the DMs. What are you able to do? Yeah, I'm getting resistant in the DMs. At this point, you know what I would have said? I would have said, bro, you're giving me resistance in the DMs right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I would have done, right? With the laughing emojis. I would have said, bro, you're giving me. At least don't be the same lead that you hate. Don't act like the same lead that you freaking hate yourself. Offers have. Why is that? And let me show you, bro. I say this a lot. For example, this guy, right? He reached out to me today. He said, don't really know what he's saying, but this is the conversation. The offer owner is saying that he has got... So this is a cold offer, and the business owner is saying, oh, we had some people that have making like 15K a month with no proof or nothing. And he's like, it's a good offer, right? Because he said people are making 15K a month. And I said, there's a species of fish that can talk underwater that we're yet to discover. Because it doesn't make no sense, man. How are you just kind of picking on to whatever he said? And by the way, this guy paid 10K for a coaching program with a guy that I don't even know. I don't even know who he is, where he exists, all of that cool stuff. And this would be a very fun conversation to review, but we just don't have enough time today. Okay.
Yeah, but the conversation is still here on the air.
So we didn't get him booked in, right?
No, we did not.
Yeah, okay. So that's it, All you had to do, Mama, one simple thing was active reading. And the fact that he's tired of watching trainings and getting no results, you need to make him realize that it's not the training, but rather the implementation of the training.
Yeah.
Right? That's
But
what I would have done.
just a question, like I asked him this question, any new systems that you've implemented right after that? Like what could happen better?
So let me tell you what could have happened better. What I would have said is I would have agreed with him first. Bro, I freaking agree with you. A lot of these sales trainings out there, they give you a lot of things to work with, but don't give you the exact implementation of what's going wrong or how you can go about implementing all the things that they teach you. Let me ask you this, man. Considering you're watching a lot of trainings and getting no results, where do you think is the disconnect? Where do you think is the disconnect happening? Because clearly if a coach is telling you something, then it's something that they've been doing and making money with, right? So it clearly works.
Yeah.
So where is the disconnect for you specifically? I don't know, man. Maybe because I don't know how to implement. Cool. What else? Right? So is there anything else? Which I hate, by the way. Never ask, is there anything else? Because they would be like, no. Always ask, what else? 80% chance they would give you something. Maybe, maybe I'm just learning from the wrong source. Why would you say that? Shit. People make shit ton of money with YouTube. Why do you say you're learning from the wrong source? because my situation is different than people. Exactly. Bingo. Right? And then you kind of take them and book them in. Right? So again, one simple question would have helped you to kind of book this call in, but this is a cool example. What we can do someday, guys, is we can have a live role play. I'd act as a setter. Whoever wants to act as a lead can jump in, and we can have a live role play. But anyways, this was the session for today. I hope you guys learned as much as possible. Wednesday is gonna be very fun because we are gonna be reviewing a live conversation from Jamal. And Jamal is a DM closer, right? So we're going to be reviewing his conversation from a closer standpoint as a DM setter and kind of giving him the feedback that he needs to improve his overall conversation, right? So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Another thing, guys, Ivika, I know your situation. Do me a favor, bro. Book in a one-on-one with me, right? Book in a one-on-one with me. I'll review the script for you. I'll give you some feedback. I'll help you out. And the other thing that I wanted to kind of put out there is, if you're ever stuck, you reach out to me. You don't hold back. You don't spend weeks. I mean, of course, if you are stuck somewhere, the first thing should be, let me try to fix it myself. Let me chat GPT. Let me, kind of Google it up. Let me see if I can figure it out. You should not be coming to me to say, should I use the word we or I, right? That's just stupid. But just wanted to put it out there, man. Like, do not hold back on getting help. If you need help, if you are on an offer, if you don't have an offer, if you're just jumping on an offer, if you're struggling with the offer, I've created the one-on-ones for you guys for a reason, which is that you can schedule in and speak with me and get the help that you need, right? So please maximize the use of that. Take as much of my time as possible so you guys can make as much money as possible, because that is what we're here for, right? So keep on crushing it, guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and super proud of you. Ansel, I'm super excited for you to get a job, bro. Rubab, same, and we don't have Jawan here, but he's also jumping on an offer. And Ping, pretty cool, man. You've been here hardly for a few days, and you're already jumping on interviews. If Gaby says yes, that's a big win for us. So keep on crushing it, keep on being you. And yeah, guys, keep on crushing it. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good one. Bye.
See you guys. Bye bye.